friends. Welcome to WTF with Wendy, where I get into your head every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm business coach Wendy Lawson, and I forgot what I was going to say. So today, you guys, we're talking about why clarity is non-negotiable. And, now that you know it's non-negotiable, how to get you some, okay? Because I know you're like, hey, I need to give me some of that. I need to get me some of that clarity. So non-negotiable and how to get some. Gina girl, did I say hi to you? Candace, hey y'all, hey. Okay, so I want to talk about what clarity is, why it's so important, and then how you can get you some if it's an area that you maybe aren't very clear on. So why is clarity so important? Clarity is all about getting to the very bottom of things, okay? It's really understanding, having a really deep understanding of who you are, who you serve, and what you want to do. It's why you exist, right? You have to be crystal clear on why you're in business, who you serve, and what you do for her. This is where when we drill down to these questions and we start getting some clarity, this is where our mission statement comes. This is where our values live. This is where our vision is born. These are all pieces that we need to have a successful micro business. And I will tell you that I'm all into right now dissecting all of this because my new course, video course, Think Like a Strategist, really looks at what is the strategic thinking process. And you can't even think strategically if you aren't clear on your mission, if you aren't clear on your vision. So clarity helps you really figure out what it is. Why are you in business? Who do you serve? What are you doing? What's your long range vision for your company? What do you want to be? So once you have that clarity, only then can you build your strategy. And strategy is where you come up with, here's the roadmap that's going to outline how I'm going to get from point A to point B, right? So you can reach that destination. Then the action is actually getting into the car and like beep, beep, heading down the road from point A to point B. The problem is a lot of times we completely bypass clarity. We ignore strategy and we just get in the car and start going. And then we're frustrated when we don't get where we want to be, even though we don't really know where we want to be. We haven't clarified where we want to be. So when we look at it this way, we can say, okay, now I see, yes, this is, I'm missing. I just jumped right to step 3. I just got in the car and started driving, don't know where I'm going. And then I'm complaining that I ain't there and gas is so dang expensive, right? So we want to jump ahead, but we can't. So I want to talk about how do you get that clarity? And I want to talk about 3 different levels of clarity because I don't think we get clear enough. Okay. I think we need to dig a little deeper in our clarity fact-finding mission. So when we're thinking about clarity, in particular for micro business owners, okay, you have to know who you are. This is, what is your mission? What is your value? What is your mission? What is your vision? And what are your values? Because once you have clarity, it makes decision-making so much easier, right? Like if you know what your mission is and you know what your vision is for the future, mission is where you are, why you exist, vision is where you want to go. And your values are the things that you hold dear, the things that you believe to be true. When opportunities come up that aren't in alignment with your mission, with your vision, with your values, even if it's an amazing opportunity, maybe it's like the best opportunity ever. Maybe you have the opportunity to work with someone who you think is fantastic and going to make you $1 million, but it's going to be out of alignment with your values. When you are clear on your mission, your vision, and your values, that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You know that it's not worth it because it's not going to feel good. You're not going to enjoy it. It's not the right move for you, okay? So clarity, think about who you are, who you serve, and how you help her, right? So who you serve is your target market or your customer avatar. It's that person that, your business exists to make her life a little easier. And then how you help her, that's your value proposition, right? What is her problem? If you're not clear on what her problem is, how can you solve it? That's a little dramatic, Wendy. But how can you solve her problem if you don't even know what her problem is? Okay. So you want to get clear on what her problem is and how you solve it. So I want to talk about sort of these 3 levels of clarity. Okay. And I'm going to give you an example that involves a chocolate milkshake. So think about 3 different levels of clarity. Number 1 is the absolute truth. Okay. Absolute truth. Just absolute truth. It cannot be denied. Okay. It's irrefutable. So in this example, I'm going to say, okay, the absolute truth about a chocolate milkshake is that chocolate is a milkshake flavor. Y'all can't argue that with me. It's irrefutable. You know this to be fact. It exists. It just is. Okay. So that's level 1, absolute truth. Number 2 are objective facts. So absolute truth is chocolate is a milkshake flavor. An objective fact about milkshakes would be, and I'm making this up, don't look up this statistic because I'm literally making it up now. But if it were true, an objective fact would be chocolate is the number 1 selling flavor of milkshake. Okay? It doesn't matter if I love chocolate or hate chocolate. The fact is the fact, right? Absolute truth, chocolate is a milkshake flavor. Objective fact, I don't know if this is right. It probably is though, that chocolate is the number 1 selling flavor of milkshakes. Objective fact. Where we tend to land, you guys, is number 3, which is assumptions, okay? So an assumption related to chocolate milkshakes, knowing that chocolate is the number 1 selling flavor of milkshake, would be people love chocolate more than they love vanilla. But that's not necessarily true, right? That's not true. That's an assumption. We're extrapolating and saying, well, if chocolate is the number 1 selling flavor of milkshake, the assumption is people must love chocolate more than vanilla. Well, maybe chocolate is easier to process, so chocolate milkshakes are cheaper. Or maybe the people who really like chocolate prefer it cold, and so that's why. We can't assume that just because chocolate is the number 1 selling flavor of milkshake, that people love chocolate more than they love vanilla. But that's where we get stuck. We get stuck on making these assumptions. So when we think about, okay, and I'm going to use my own business as an example because it's easy for me to pick on myself. Ain't nobody going to get mad at me for picking on myself. But I want to share with you what this looks like in my business planning. And as I look at my business and my ideal customer and my value proposition and who I am and what I value, what that looks like so that hopefully you can take this and say, okay, I see what she's saying here. This is how this applies to me. Okay. So I want to talk about, as we think through these three different areas to have clarity, because we're all in the 3s today. 3 areas to have clarity: who you are, who you serve, and how you help her. Okay. So as I look at who I serve, then I want to go through the 3 levels of clarity, which are absolute truth, objective facts, and assumptions. So who I serve, absolute truth, irrefutable. She's a business owner. I'm a business coach. She's probably not here. I probably can't provide a lot of service to her if she doesn't own a business, right? Irrefutable, absolute truth. She is a business owner. Okay. Objective fact. Now remember, this is a fact that my opinion doesn't matter about the fact. It just is. Okay. So objective fact, my business owner could use basic business skills to help her be successful. Okay. So business owner, objective fact, basic business skills will help her be successful. Pretty objective, right? Assumptions. This is where we get stuck, guys. My assumption is she wants to learn business skills, right? My entire business is based on the fact that she wants to learn business skills. Y'all, she may not want to learn business skills, or maybe she doesn't want to pay for business skills. Maybe she's just bypassing the strategic thinking and she just wants something actionable, right? So if I get stuck on the assumptions and I don't really dig deep into what my assumptions are and getting very clear on how I can help her, then I'll never be able to help her if she doesn't want to learn business skills, because all of my marketing and everything I do is all about learn the business skills, right? So it's when we get stuck in the assumptions, we're not even clear to begin with, but then when we do, we just kind of like phone it in, right? She needs business skills. That's what she needs. Then we can't move forward because we don't have the clarity. Remember, clarity tells us where we want to go. Strategy puts us in the car, and then action, we actually beep, beep, get on the road. So we want to make sure that we have clarity, right? Absolute truth, objective facts, assumptions, work through all of that, find the flaws in our logic for who we are, who we serve, and how we help her, because then we can move our business forward. Then our messaging matches what she needs. Then we're in alignment with our vision and our values and our mission, vision, and values, right? So you have to have clarity, you guys. You cannot bypass this stuff. You can't. You have to know who you serve, why she needs you, and who you are. And I think I think the most important thing is, and I'll share this with you guys again. I'll pick on myself, okay? The most important thing to remember is that this is not like a one and done exercise. Like you decided to start your business and then you sat down and you wrote out your mission statement and then you set your goals and then I value these things. And then poof, it's done and I never have to think about it again. Because as a business owner, you are constantly evolving. Your target market may be evolving, right? Or you may be identifying bits and pieces of your target market that maybe you didn't see before. Your value proposition may be evolving. Maybe that as you go deeper into your target market, you realize that you have more gifts and skills and insights and other ways you can help her that you didn't originally realize. But the only way you're going to get that clarity is by doing, right? It's the more you do, the more clarity you will have. And so I said I would give you an example. When I launched my business, I originally said, and it was in my mission statement, that I serve female small business owners. But y'all, female small business owners is a really broad category. Like, I don't know, it's over $1 million. You can have over $1 million in sales and still be considered a small business. And that really wasn't who I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve female micro business owners, okay? So then I narrowed down a little bit because a micro business owner is less than $250,000 in revenue a year and less than 5 employees. And that really felt more like who I was called to serve. And then recently I've been thinking about this and, it's further evolving, right? Because yes, I serve that person and it's just getting narrower, right? So it was small business owner, then female micro business owner. And now I really feel like it's more of the accidental entrepreneur, right? It's someone who didn't sit down one day and write out a business plan and say, I want to start a business and here's all the things. But it was someone who saw there was a need in the market or really had a passion. And so she became an accidental entrepreneur. Do you see how I'm narrowing that down? So it doesn't mean where I was before was wrong. I'm just getting more clarity the more I do. So I think it's really, really important that you guys understand that it's not a one and done. I figured it out and now I move on. It's forever. It's constantly evolving. It evolves with you. Okay. So you guys, clarity is non-negotiable. And now you know how to get you some, right? Go get you some. I do have, let me see if I can post this comment here. But I do have, if you have not already made your mission statement, let me type this bad boy in here. You can, hopefully that works. I don't know if that'll post. But I do have a free principle. It's a download where you can work through your mission statement where we talk about who you are, who you serve. Oh, apparently it didn't go through. Y'all, I'll try it again when we're done here. Who you are, who you serve, and what problem you solve for her, how you help her. And that's a good start for getting some clarity. All right, you guys. So I will be back tomorrow. Listen, I hope you have an amazing, amazing Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. Replay Warriors, thank you for being here. You guys, I love you madly, and I will see you later.